Welcome to
This
Questers of
is how it
Yalpelor.
always is.
This is the
Literally
show.
always.
We're starting right now. This is happening. Ready or not, here we come for
I don't
our
always eat cake, but I should.
weekly online improvised adventure game comedy show. As I was just saying, these are my four beautiful players who I've gathered from all over the world to play a fantasy comedy improvised game with me every Monday night. Let's meet them for those of us who are here for the first time this week. First, we have Matt, who's playing Grebble Bumblin Esquire. Matt is a quarterling bubblemancer desperately seeking to reclaim his family fortune. We have Jada playing Triss, a nebulous summoning who's only recently gained sentience, now gleefully exploring life in Yalpelor with her new friends. We have Talia playing Aklis Darkmoor, traveling Death Knight with an ancestral sword and lots of family history. And we have Trent playing Dirt Hotbelly. His father is an angel, his mother is a volcano, and he's 100% half rock buddy. These players are here not just to play their characters. Part of the fun for me is to ask them to invent and flesh out new details in the game world, play other characters, segue into unexpected scenes, and all in all, make my life as game master more interesting and chaotic than it would be otherwise. We're playing Macchiato Monsters. That's the game system. It's an old school game in the style of Dungeons and Dragons, which is really nostalgic for me and might mean something to some of you. And now it's time for some attributions. Before the sponsor, I want to talk a little bit about, usually what I say is that the character portraits you see right here are by Shani Grimm, and that the music is by tabletopaudio.com. Now, starting this week, our list of attributions has grown quite a bit longer. Because there's some new stuff I'm gonna introduce in a minute. If you, instead of just reading out everything every week from now on, I'm just gonna say, scroll down to where you see the awesome people panel down below the Twitch video, and you can see all the links to all the things that we've used. We not only got character art by Shani Grimm, we also have character art by Furburn, which you don't see on the screen right now, but he also drew our four characters in a beautiful way. Music by tabletopaudio.com, title card background for the Questers of Yalpelor title card created by freepit.com, additional art by gameicons.net, and sound effects by mixkit.co. And that's it. I'm never going to read the whole thing out loud ever again, start to finish. You just can go down and look at all that in the YouTube video description and in the Twitch panel down below. So all the music and art that we use, you can go either commission for yourself or find stuff for free, as we have, because the internet is a wonderful place full of awesome resources that you can use. That's with the attributions. Why have I suddenly added so many more details to this list? Because there's some new things that might happen this week. This is some options that you have, you the audience, for Questers of Yalpelor. When you watch our show, you can go into the XP store. Also in the panels underneath the video. If you're watching us live, you can click on this panel, My Players. You can go ahead and do that yourself as well. Click on the XP store and see the two items you have there that you can buy. You can also buy them with the chat commands. It says so underneath the panel in the Twitch screen. You just hit exclamation mark buy and then either order or chaos. It's going to cost you 100 XP to do that every time, and order is going to create order and increase order in the scene. Chaos is going to increase chaos. And then this is the nice. I see what's going on. These are your new options. XP is something that you automatically get when you watch the show. So you're gonna have XP. You're just gonna slowly accumulate it automatically while you watch the show. And once every 15 minutes or more, I think that's the cooldown, you can use these commands to actually mess with the game and force the game to take a little bit of a different turn and twist when you use these commands. So, oh, exactly. So that's the way it looks. That's the way it's gonna look from now on during the show. Thank you, Matt, for the demonstration. Yes, it is.
That was really big.
It's very big. Was it too loud for you? Was it too loud?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. I love that. I'm gonna probably bring the volume down in a bit. I might do that.
I almost Oh man, like I'm so glad I wasn't holding anything, or drinking anything, or
Yeah.
standing wrong.
Standing wrong.
You would be surprised.
Fallen over.
Honestly, like it's one of those moments where you see like someone step on a banana peel. Like if there had been a banana peel, like I would have been out of frame.
And there's also a chaos symbol, which is not what we saw on screen. This was the order symbol. I'm not going to show
Is
the
it a
chaos.
different sound effect as well?
It has a different sound effect, and it's much less
Louder,
startling.
yes.
A much
I don't wanna
less
do it
much
from
less startling
here.
sound effect. You can't do that right now because it's still on cooldown. It's going to take 15
Alright.
minutes because you can before you can buy another bump, either to order or chaos. Because Matt just demonstrated us how that looks. So you, the players, are forbidden from using these functions. You
What?
cannot.
The
You cannot
golden.
do that. No, you may not. It's
just
only
spent
for
my points for
viewers.
nothing.
Yep, exactly.
How dare you!
Only for players.
Do I not get to reduce the chaos summoner because I did it before you explained it?
I'll refund your XP. I'll give you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, I'll
I
do
didn't
that.
know that was a
You can
thing.
do that?
I
What?
appreciate that.
Yeah, I can do that.
Options.
I can give you extra XP. I'll give Matt
Why
some.
have you not been doing this earlier? Trent has been having a contest and consistently losing to me.
That's actually not the XP. That's a whole other category of points.
That's magic
That's
point.
magic
Oh,
points.
well then what are XP?
It's invisible points that you don't see on the Twitch chat. It's something that you have to check yourself, or I can tell you how many you have. So that's something that's provided by Stream Elements. It's not
Cool, thank
Twitch.
you.
I have
Yeah.
650 and I am rank 6.
If you want to
How
know
are
how
you
much
doing
XP you
those?
have, you can use the XP command, exclamation XP. That's what you need to use in order to be able to.
I'm on it. I'm on it.
See them?
Exactly. Yes, you're doing it right now. You can see how much XP you have and what your rank is.
Ah.
All of you are quite high, obviously.
It didn't work. I didn't.
Trent is 1 rank higher than me.
Try again. Yep. This might be a.
Oh boy, Jada, that's tough. Oof.
You're losing to me. How embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
Look at Talia.
Oh, the XP dragon on their horde. Matt should have 100 more, I guess.
Oh yeah!
Yeah.
I'd be just behind Tyler.
How do we gain XP?
Yeah,
From
how
just
do you
being in the
gain
channel. Just be in the channel. You get 10 XP for every 10
Okay.
minutes.
Okay, cool.
There's no nothing else required. Just be in the channel, which means that long-time viewers will have more XP to spend. And in the future, there's going to be more. There's going to be more functions, more stuff you can buy, more stuff you can do to mess with the episode, right? So there's going to be more ways for players to make stuff happen unexpectedly.
You can spend points to make Jada fall over.
Exactly. Yeah.
You don't need to spend points, guys. Like,
Actually, I'm probably in the future just gonna have a really loud, startling sound with no other function, no other reason, just to startle you, the player. Just like a honk, a really scary honk.
yeah, but see, I'm a Canadian, and geese honks make me angry. They don't scare me. Like all of the collective rage of Canada is funneled through the minute you hear a goose honk.
Well,
Trust me, as someone who's from Michigan, you get even more angry because those are invader geese that you have to put up with.
oh
Yes.
shit.
So are the Canadian geese. All
Yeah.
Canadian geese all around the world are just the international invasion.
Obviously, have stumbled
That's what they
into
look
a
like.
discussion that I'm not equipped to have. I'm very sorry.
Was
I'm
that
gonna-
nostalgic for you, Jada?
It's gonna be a different sound, not a honk, not any living thing, so as not to step on anyone's toes. I can sincerely apologize to any viewers who come from the Western hemisphere.
Just have some Shorb sound.
Yeah, probably. Exactly.
Going into
Thank
the
you.
promotion of the day.
Are we done with this? Yes, I think we're done with this part. So that's the attributions. That's all these stuff that you've seen on screen and the scary sound. That's part of what the reason that the attribution list is now longer. And yeah, you're now free to take it away with today's sponsor. Go ahead, Talia.
Right. Oh, the cat is. This is not the time. Anyway. Today.
Just
I mean, it's never the time, but today, in merch that doesn't exist but should, soup. Nope. Read that wrong. Soap. Inspired by our beloved Grebble Bumblin Esquire, famous Bubblemancer, we are proud to present our latest product, Questers of Yalpelor Soap. Comes in liquid or bar form, with familiar scents like death and chaos.
Ooh.
Anyway, go to our totally real shop at figment.rp and buy it today and have like a self-care day and take a soap bubble. Back to you, Itamo.
Thank you. That
Is .rp a domain?
It can be.
I don't know.
I feel like it should be. To be fair, though, I feel like we did miss a branding, which could have been something like Questers of Yelp Soap.
We can Soapalore.
Soapalore is pretty good. Sudzalore.
We should get Twitch viewers to suggest soap fragrances.
Questers of
Chaos.
Yalpelor.
I mean, we know what they would be, though. It would be like some mix of Atlas, Dirt, Triss, and Grebble, and absolutely none of Wilk. So it would smell like clean, like soap. It would smell like brimstone, a la Dirt. It would smell like carnations for death. And I guess it would kind of smell smoky for Triss.
Right.
But all of those at the same time because they're complementary.
All in the same
Just
soap.
like us.
Perfect. I also wanted to say that Chaos kind of sounds like it's already probably an Axe body spray scent, probably,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you very much. That was awesome. That was a perfect sponsor for today. Thank you, Talia. I think we're going to be ready to begin. We ended last week's episode on quite a cliffhanger, except besides the fact the player of the character in the midst of the action was disconnected at the time. That still did not stop us from sending him into harm's way, armed with nothing but jumping boots and a venomous poisonous snake as a guide. And there was a failed roll there, and Grebble fell on his back in a shallow puddle of mud in the middle of a dark, cold, swampy jungle. When you look up Grebble, and we'll continue just from this the same moment we stopped last week, you see her. She's standing right above you, like not 1 meter away, looking down, surprised. Some droplets of mud have fallen on her very simple clothes. She's wearing a cloak and a dress underneath, which seems like pretty simple and functional clothes to walk around in a jungle in. Other than that, she's holding a basket, and her hair is like tied in a ponytail behind her head. She doesn't seem she's a little older, not very old, she's kind of surprised. Do you do anything? Because she's not responding right now.
Okay, so first, where's his sister? In the tree still?
His sisteress did not fall with you. She doesn't see him right now. He's above her in the tree.
And second, how far away have I traveled from everyone else at this point? You're not sure how far away it is, like the distance, because you must have gotten turned around a little bit. What's clear is that you don't know the way back right now. Oh shit, yeah, I'm probably lost. Okay. Sorry, I perhaps shouldn't be swearing. So it's shallow, so I'm gonna stand up, and I'm gonna say, I'm so sorry. If you'll give me a minute, I can get that dirt, the mud off you, if you'd like.
What?
The mud off you.
But what do you need from me? I heard you saying my name.
Off in a completely different part of the jungle, Dirt hears his name spoken out loud.
I'm not there.
You're not there. Grebble is separate from all of
He
you.
jumped way past us.
Yeah, Grebble jumped up from treetop to treetop, and then slipped and fell.
Then I was talking to his sisteress.
No, this is with me.
This is with Grebble. You were talking to me. I slipped on some mud and then I like played in it a little bit because I was bummed.
My ADD medication just wore off, so you know.
Just this instant. It was just right this moment where it stopped working.
About within the last half hour.
Okay, so, young man, I've had my fair share of mud in my clothes. I'm quite used to these surroundings. However, not used to people as prim and proper as you, frolicking and getting all muddied up in here. What is your business in this jungle?
Oh, I'm traveling with friends, and well, I'd say they'd all be friends, but someone might say that one is a colleague. But we're traveling through the jungle on our way to other places, and I stand up and I step out of the mud if I can onto the bank.
Yes, you feel the wetness and some of the dirt cling to your skin and your clothes. You know, you have several layers on, so everything like got soaked with mud, at least a little bit. Both like your back for sure, but like running down your chest and your stomach as well. Well, so where are you on the way to?
We were wandering through this jungle in search of a witch. You haven't happened to seen one, have you?
A witch, is it? Oh, well, you have found me.
Oh, hello.
Yes.
Just to be completely sure that you are the witch that we're looking for, which witch are you?
Well, I am the witches in these witch parts.
Right, that's probably you then.
Answer.
Nice to meet you. My name is Grebble. And I'm gonna get out my magical soap, and I'm gonna start. I'm kind of hoping it's kind of a D&D kind of thing, but to like ritual cast to try and use my bubbles to clean myself off. Take sort of 10 minutes over it.
If you mean by that it's not going to cost you anything, then no, it's not a mechanic that exists.
Okay.
No, but we've said that maybe in some cases it's going to be either for free or very, very low cost if it's just like a cosmetic change. I think in this case it does have a benefit, so it's going to cost you something.
Okay, then I'll use my my magical soap.
Yeah, so I think actually this might be a new use for your spell, for your bubble magic, right?
Getting clean.
I feel like Grebble's done that before.
Yeah, cleaning something. Grubble's done what?
I've done it too.
Cleaning things with the soap.
I feel like I've
bubbles?
cleaned myself off from dungeonness.
And dirty this whole
No,
time.
and your magical soap is gone.
Yeah, magical soap is run out. Let's think of a
magical
new...
Why not go to figment.rp and some more?
Let's think of a new use for your spell, your bubble spell. You can create soapy bubbles that clean something. That's not something that we've had, I think, before, like written down in your character sheet, right?
Okay.
And I think that is a very simple spell. If you don't need it done instantly, you can take a minute, like a good minute, to let the bubbles slowly rinse the dirt off of something. Then it can be just 1 hit point cost.
Oh, right. Well, in that case, I probably would have just used one of my own hit points rather than got rid of all my magical soap.
So bring your soap back up to a d4, it's fine.
Thank you very much. I will take 1 hit point damage. So just as I'm continuing to talk to the witch, who is in this area, I'm going to sort of just start. Well, when I don't use any magical soap, I make the bubbles with my mouth. So the bubbles are going to come out of my mouth, and they're just going to sort of spread all over myself.
I've been doing
Seriously.
this the whole time.
Anytime I've cast magic without using reagent, it's been from my mouth, or if it's wind, it's been arm gestures.
Uh-huh.
Can you do it through your nose?
Sure, why not? Through my nose, because I'm trying to make smaller bubbles.
Perfect.
Just tiny bubbles.
So what
that
you're
go
saying is
everywhere.
that there's a stream of tiny bubbles shooting out your nose onto her. That's what's happening right now.
No, onto me, because she said she's fine with the mud on
Oh,
herself.
you're just cleaning yourself. Okay, okay.
Cleaning
Sure.
myself.
All right, sure. So she's looking kind of grossed out by what she's seeing, not sure if she should comment or is just some cultural thing that is going to be very insensitive to bring up in the middle of a conversation with someone you don't know. She decides not to say anything about that. Instead of that, she says, well, if you've come here to meet me, then you're not on your way to somewhere else. You're on the way to right here. Not through the jungle, but into this area of the jungle.
Oh, and I stop breathing out my nose and catch my breath for a second. Well, we were on our way through the jungle. It's just we got sidetracked. We do that a lot.
Oh. Well, no harm done. You've found the witch. My name is Buyaba, and I'm here in order to collect some ingredients on part of my a trip that I take outside of my hut a few times every day. Since we seem to have randomly bumped into each other, why don't you just tell me what you need right now, and we'll see if I can provide it.
Sure. It's just a friend of ours says you've been acting kind of strangely the last day or so.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to check that you're doing okay, basically.
Oh, the last day, yes. You mean the change that has happened?
Right, exactly that.
Well, she looks. She looks up. It's. I think I might have jumbled up the description of your way here on the way. I want to make it very clear to anyone who's watching that if I don't know if I've described it, it's taken a while or a long time to walk. There hasn't been a night. The night hasn't ended yet since you went to sleep a short while ago. You met Hesisteris in the early stages of the night, and then you've been walking a little bit. It's still the middle of the night, and she looks up. There's no sign of light or dawn coming. She looks back at you and she says, yes, I'm just dealing with some abrupt changes that happened earlier today, in the previous morning. In fact, it's nothing bad. In fact, it's actually quite a positive change. Very good for me and for the jungle as a whole. So, if you've just come to do this, ask as to my well-being. I'm quite well, thank you.
Oh well, that's wonderful news. I think my friend just sort of gets over worried over nothing. Quite an anxious figure. I'm sorry. As I cough, some bubbles come out my mouth.
Is that the friend or the colleague that we are talking about?
Oh, we have an old friend that we met a while back, and we just happened to bump into him in the jungle here. Apparently, this is where he's from.
Oh.
He said he was a bit concerned about how you were behaving. So tell me the good news. What's this positive change?
Right, so you see her deliberate a little bit, like thinking whether or not she wants to share this with you. How about you roll charisma to see how convincing you are?
Why wouldn't she share? Grebble is delightful.
Cool.
He is truly the only delightful one of us, except for Triss. Triss is cute.
This is full of delight.
That's true. I wouldn't say delightful. Delight.
So,
More bubbles, man.
Are you a magic user?
I am as well. These bubbles are magic. They're not genetic. It's training.
Good. I was worried it was a disease or some kind of ailment.
I'm so sorry. I should have explained. I'm a bubble-mancer. I'm cleaning myself off, and I'm kind of completely coated in tiny, tiny bubbles at this point.
I have never met an actual bubble-mancer. I've heard of bubble-mancy, but never anyone who actually took it.
There's not that many of us.
Huh. That's delightful. Well, so the change was a very positive change in the behavior of the wildlife around us in the jungle. Here in these parts especially. I collect ingredients. These ingredients are things that have died, things that I can just pick up and use whatever remaining life energy they have inside them after they have passed away, when they have no more use for it themselves, you see. I am a witch concerned with physical bodies, living things, altering and changing them, improving them, and trying to create new things out of body parts. Now, recently, something changed in the jungle, quite close to here. It was something that I was not able to do myself, and I was overjoyed when I discovered this morning it was just somehow gone. I'm talking about something that fed more life into the surroundings, more than the jungle could handle.
Oh,
And-
right, yeah, I know all about that. That was a hassle, that was.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it was. Probably messed up with your spellcasting as well, hindered you on your way.
Oh, yeah, well, it did this to me, and I show her my bendy bones.
Oh, that is fascinating. May I? And she instinctively holds out a hand and then just like pulls it back.
Well, I mean, I don't want any extra body parts, if that's what you're asking, but
Oh.
if you'd like to bend a bone, yeah, you can be gentle.
Ooh. And she reaches over and bends one of your fingers back, like kind of worried she doesn't want to hurt you, but she tries to bend it back until it touches your arm, you know, like, and it very easily bends. Oh, I've never seen something like this. I want to, I would like to chat more about this if it is okay for me to suggest. Will it be okay to invite you for a few minutes longer to visit me at my hut? Maybe have a little cup of tea and discuss different alteration spells.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like I'd like to, bring my friends along though as well, and the colleague friend also, just because we were all looking for you, and I think they'd all be much more relaxed if they knew you were fine. The thing is, I got very turned about as I was, this jungle quite confusing place. Don't know where my friends are. Don't know where I am.
Well, let me answer your two inquiries. If you are looking for your friends, I might be able to help you find them.
Excellent.
However, I do not like crowds. When I meet large crowds of people, usually there are torches and chanting involved. People calling for my execution in some fiery way or another, and for me it's
No.
just a very unsavory experience. I'd rather just meet you one-on-one or be on my way. And I understand that you want to be reunited with him as soon as possible.
Well, how about I come back with you then, and then once we've had our, do you have a way of sending a message out or something to tell my friends I'm all right?
A message? Well, maybe I can. Maybe I can do that. Yes. Will you?
Well, hang on a minute. 1 second, and I start looking up into the trees to see if I can see his sisters.
He's gone, as far as you can see from here.
Oh. Well. Oh well, never mind. Sorry, carry on.
I might be able to do that if you describe them to me.
Sure. We've got this kind of smoky summoning. We've got a Death Knight. I think you might quite like the Death Knight since you work with things that just died. And there's a great big kind of he's a half rock body, big old stony golem type person. And we got a horse. And I feel like I'm missing someone.
Well, that's quite enough for one of my creatures to find them. I will send one of them as soon as we are safe in my hut. This is still a jungle, and the animals, even though they are not as tough and wild as they were while this effect was still infusing the jungle around us, there are still wild animals of the jungle, so we should probably be away.
Right, and yeah, I'll come with you, and yeah, just like if you can get them to come somewhere nearby, so that they don't bother us while we chat. And I can go and tell them all the news. If you want just a one-on-one chat, no problem.
All right. That's acceptable. Let's go.
Okay.
And she leads you. His sister is nowhere to be found. You, the three of you, Triss, Aklis, and Dirt, you are next to where the wagon is. I'll remind you, the going was not that easy in that part of the jungle, even though the path is cleared by Dirt's spell. There's still mud and puddles and quicksand. You have to very, very carefully wade across or bypass in the undergrowth. So you've been moving quite slowly. You're all wet, and there's some mud on you. I mean, almost all of you are wet with some mud on where your boots and your clothes. And now you're waiting for Grebble, who's been away for a few minutes. Triss, you want to go ahead?
Aklis, Dirt, should we hide Marigold? I mean, if the witch likes to take animals and hurt them, we should maybe, I mean, Wilkes said that she'd stay with Marigold. Maybe we hide them and then we go get Grebble, because he's been gone a while, and I mean, if I'd gone, you would have heard me. Unless I was sneaky, then you might not have heard me, but...
I'm having connection issues, so I don't know if you can hear me.
It was a glitch, but I think you're back.
Okay.
I can't hear Trent talking though.
No, Trent's muted though.
I'm better now. I made a pretty funny joke about the connection issues, but you know, I'll say it again later.
Next time it happens. Aklis, go ahead.
I can't see all of you, and I can only hear you, like, sometimes.
Oh, I see. So there are some more connection issues. So just Tristan Dirt, go ahead and talk.
I can see that Aklis is a little bit lost for words, so I would say that my opinion is that I don't think that we need to hide, you know, the Marigold or the Wilk. I think that they're probably just fine the way that they are, and you know, I think sometimes, Triss, this is hard to learn, but sometimes just sitting still and being patient will pay off in the end. You know, I bet you any moment now we'll get the message from the Grebble, you know, pretty soon.
Who are you? What have you done to Dirt?
What do you mean?
Dirt's not patient. Dirt's always with me. Dirt's always like 5 steps ahead of me when I do something. What's going on?
The thing is, Triss, I'm pretty tired. You know, it's the middle of the night, which I know it doesn't affect you, and also, you know, I did a lot of communing with my family, and that takes a lot out of me. So, truth be told, I kind of don't feel like doing too much extra right now. But if you want to go and look for Grebble, then that's okay. I will wait here for you. But then we have 2 people missing, possibly dead, and we don't know. We don't really want that.
I don't like that Grebble's alone, and his doesn't come back, and Aklis is lost for words, and you're confusing me.
Just take deep. Wait, do you breathe? Do you breathe? Okay, well, I would say take deep breaths, but I think that maybe if you don't breathe, then that doesn't help. Just move up and down slowly. There you go, it's pretty good.
Slowly. Good advice for us all.
You're not doing anything.
That doesn't make you feel better.
No.
Okay, well then what if we just, oh, I know. Have you ever heard of a ghillie suit?
A ghillie suit?
Yes. Okay, go out into the woods and collect as many dirty, swampy, messy leaves and things. The wetter the better, and bring them together to me.
Okay. Triss, like, skips into the jungle. clearly believing that this is going to help Grebble somehow.
It's very, very easy to find a bunch of dead leaves, mulch, like vines and branches and stuff that's fallen off, or just very easy to take apart or take off the ground. And you can bring a bunch to dirt after just a few minutes.
So when Triss comes back, bouncing a little, they're not holding anything, and then they just look at you, Dirt, and then they just kind of like, they go inside of themselves, and then they just kind of like chuck, like just this like mound of like filthy, stinky, swampy leaves. Like some of the leaves have like 8 corners, some of them are round, some of them are more spiky, some of them could be strategic moss, but they're bright orange. Is that what you wanted? No,
Yes.
Will that help Grebble? Okay, can we go help Grebble?
Yes, but now I think you need to take this and put this on to Wilk.
Oh,
No? Is that what you want?
Because you're wanting to hide them, yes?
I guess if Dirt says so, I'm willing to do that.
Okay. And Triss starts patting Wilk with leaves. And
Alright,
like,
so
do like a foot, like literally just does like a foot, and then takes some and does it to like one hoof of Marigold and just sort of switches between the two of them, staring at Aklis, who is clearly just not paying attention at all, clearly like focused on something else.
okay.
See? Doesn't that look better now? Are you less worried about them being found?
I mean, I feel like they're more obvious now, but I don't really understand camouflage.
Okay, Wilk, lay down on the ground. Wilk.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
Wilk was wondering where Aklis went. Okay, I will. She lies down on the ground.
Okay, it's good. Okay, now stay there until we come back. Let's go.
Okay. You.
Are we going to get Grebble?
Can we find out if we can hear Aklis or not?
Aklis, you want to come get Grebble?
As soon as Aklis comes to, please tell us. We
Yeah.
want to.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah?
I'm gonna log in from my phone so that I can hear you, and maybe that will work.
All right. Let's hope so. Definitely.
Okay.
See you soon.
Anyway,
Yes, maybe
I
I'll
said
just
yes.
stay here and wait until you return.
All right.
Or then I'll catch up with
Oh.
you soon.
Let's go to this thing.
Yes.
ooh!
Look at the endless nested. Wait. So where are we?
Hello? I seem to be stuck. No one can see me. Can anyone see me? It's like I popped out of existence for a minute.
Do I
Do I need
Hello?
to speak? Oh, I've got.
Hello? Hello?
Wait. I almost got it.
I don't entirely understand what part of dirt we must go to.
Why does everyone think Dirt's Russian?
It's because it's easier to do than finish, to be perfectly honest.
It's also not quite finished. I don't know. It's just dirt. It's dirtish.
Dirtish.
I've
Oh,
also been wondering if it's supposed to be finished or not. Honestly,
It's just its own
back.
thing.
And just when I was.
Just take this. See, this is clearly the swamp magic. Like, this is what happens. Oh, hello. This is what happens when you go into the swamp. Clearly.
I can see and hear y'all.
Hey,
Yes.
Welcome back.
can we see you?
Thank you.
Was dirt right? Was all of the camouflaging of Marigold and Wilk the right thing? And now can we go get Grebble?
Yes.
Great. So do you go out into the swamp?
That was the most excited Aklis has ever been.
Oh,
I I have no idea what's been happening so far, but I'm ready to go along with it.
All right.
Yeah.
Some stuff with
Carrying
Wilk, but who
Transformers.
cares?
Skips ahead, like Triss is just like off like a rocket.
All right. So you're going in the way that you remember Grebble leaving, right?
Yes.
The same direction. Let's roll wisdom, which, unless you do something to help each other, is going to be a disadvantage because you're not really good at finding your way in the swamp.
What?
Sure. If it helps, I'm shouting, hiss, hiss. So roll wisdom.
Yes, please. Right, so there was a roll with disadvantage, which means that the 19 counts, and that is a failure. And that means that you walk around for a little while. You don't find any sign of Grebble or of Hisisterus. Unbeknownst to you, Hisisterus has just missed you, trying to go back to relay some information or a message back to you. But that is not where you are, and you don't see that happening. So, meanwhile, in a
So
different.
we're not having a scene that's Sisterus and Wilk.
I feel like we should.
Oh, I'm sure you would want to see that scene, but I'm not sure if that's.
We
gonna
would.
happen. I'm not
We
sure.
definitely would.
Yes, I'm sure.
Could be
So
like a half-hour conversation.
yeah, I know. Maybe you'll see. You'll have a highlight maybe of that. We'll see the way it goes. The hut is as you were promised and described, Grebble. It's a simple wooden hut. Seems very cozy and inviting, except for the fact that it's balanced on 4 grabbit feet. 4 large grabbit feet, which are, I'll remind you, like cartoon rabbits who have limbs that are pretty humanoid, like human-like legs.
Great.
But they're furry and they end with toes like a rabbit's. So that's the 4 legs that the hut is balanced on right now. It's perched down, so you can just barely like step up. It's a high step, a little hop to get up
I'm
there.
not stepping up. I'm looking underneath.
Looking underneath. So yeah, it's actually roll intelligence with advantage because there's some stuff that you can learn from
Yeah.
taking a good
What
look.
I'm trying to figure out is if the legs are still alive or if the hut itself is alive in some way.
Cool. You have advantage, so that's a success. That's cool. You do know that you do understand that it's like recently. There's in the previous quest. There's been a lot of talk of necromancy and how bad and evil it is. Even though she deals with dead bodies, this is not really. It's not really necromancy. She doesn't bring life back to things. Now, whether or not this is considered necromancy to you is a good question. It's not part of it's not what you learn when you study the school of necromancy, in where you studied spellcasting.
Yeah.
Necromancers there. That's not what they did. It's more making mutations and changes to living things, which this deals with. So it's still grim. It still has to do with mucking around with bodies and dead things and sewing limbs, but it's a different kind of magic.
This is quite impressive. This is like you can. I mean, I heard that you could move your house around, but quite fancy.
Well, thank you. Yes, I thought that why not have all of my belongings follow me, or in fact carry me around wherever I want to go.
Quite convenient.
It's been a while since I moved house, so to speak. This is
Oh.
this is a fertile area for me and my magic, but I like the thought of having the option. In the past, I've alluded to that already. Living next to where other people live in large groups has never proved safe for me, so having the option to move to a new area of Yalpelor is always a good idea.
I understand that. It's not something I've personally experienced, but I, you know, some people need their space, you know?
No, you are probably quite popular in civilized areas, aren't you?
I've always enjoyed, you know, parties, stuff like that.
Oh, parties. Not many of them here, but maybe I can provide you with some entertainment. And she reaches over and offers to take your hand and help you up into the hut.
Oh, great, thank you. But by this point, all the bubbles have disappeared and I am clean. So I'm not tracking mud into her house.
Oh, nice, cool. She's kind of tracking mud. She doesn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, she lets you in. She leads you into the hut. It's this hut is just two areas. There's just one wall inside that separates the main area from a smaller room at the back, and this area has, in fact, a large, a wide, not a fireplace. What do you call it when it's like a bowl where you light up a fire in the middle?
Fire pit?
A fire. It's not a pit in the ground. It's something raised. It's made of metal.
Still a pit. Yeah, we still call it fire pit.
I
Fire
think there's
ring. What do you want? We know what you mean.
Yeah, a brazier, I guess. A brazier, maybe, but a large one. Like a brazier, but a large one. That had like fits like a whole fire, like a bonfire, if you wanted to. Right now, there's just some burning embers, barely giving off some heat, but it is enough to make the hut very cozy, a little bit warmer and drier than the outside.
Lovely place you have here.
Thank you. I worked quite hard on organizing it and making it very cozy, both for me and for visitors. And she gestures at a small chair, quite small, but with a nice, like, there's like a wooden back and a nice pillow on the seat that you can sit on and recline a little bit and enjoy the warmth from the brazier. You are invited to sit there. She goes off to mind some things that she left behind. There's some food at a small table to the side, and there's a pot of water that she fills from a basin, and then she puts the pot on the brazier on a little like place designed to put it on there and let it warm.
Oh, I was raised to the idea of, you know, you visit someone's house, you bring a gift. I don't know if these will be any good to you, and I show her I've got some of these blandest greens.
Oh, please. These will be perfect for my poultices.
Oh, there they go.
Yeah, that's all. That's all
All
you
my
had.
blandest greens.
Yes, the last of your blandest greens are hers now. She takes them. She's not going to use them as food. She's going to use them to make poultices for treating wounds and burns and other kinds of skin conditions.
Lovely.
She says thank you. She really loves it, and she brings you she pours you a cup of tea that she prepared from some herbs that she threw in the.
I sit down in the comfortable chair.
Yeah, cool, nice. She sits down on a stool on the other side of the brazier. She looks at you, and she then suddenly remembers and says, "Oh, I almost forgot the message." And she walks to the door. But she doesn't walk out, she just like whistles a specific pattern, like a little song, and there's noises of something approaching outside in the mud. Something is walking there, and she whistles to the creature a little more, like a little trill, and then a whistle, like a long arc goes up and down in tone, and then some short staccato sounds. And the creature answers with some whistles, but they sound like they don't come from a human mouth, a different kind of creature, and then leaves. You hear the creature go away, and she turns back to you and she says, "I'm sorry, I was a bit forgetful. It is, after all, a very special day, as I've said before. So now that I have time to get a little bit more into it, I can tell you that I've been working on a little project for quite a while, and I'm very happy to have been able to suddenly start bringing it to fruition. Instead of all the preparations and planning that I've had to do for all this time, now I can start to make it happen and let it see the light of day.
Well, that's excellent news. To be honest, I feel a little bad I'm interrupting you on such a productive day.
Well, maybe if you're here, you can actually lend me some help. You've already been a perfect guest, giving me a gift, even though I did not expect one at all. But I can maybe ask you to look at a challenge of mine, something that I've been pondering over and trying to figure out the best way to do.
Sure. I mean, my specialities being bubbles and wind and so something watery maybe. Happy to help. I do have more magical knowledge, but throw me a challenge. I'll do my best.
Okay, so she stomps lightly, gently on the floor with her right foot, and she says, "To the right, please." And the hut just like lurches and starts turning 90 degrees to the right. Just you see the jungle move in front of your eyes as the opening just shifts to the right, and you see a different area of the little. It's not even a clearing, just a very little space, very small space, tight space that the hut can barely fit into. But in between a couple of other trees and lots of growth that she didn't even bother clearing, she just hung between two great tree trunks, a cage that's hanging on a chain between the two tree trunks, and it's just hanging in the air. And in this cage, there's an animal. It is the torso of a large ape, like a gorilla, whose all of its limbs have been replaced with snakes.
No.
Both the legs and the arms, as it were, have been replaced by snakes that, from where you are, even though it's night, it's quite clear that they're very similar to Hisisteris, the species, the kind of snake that they are. This gorilla, it has the head of a large ape, an angry gorilla as well. The same, like it's still the same head it was born with. And then it looks at you angrily, and then the snakes also kind of like lash out. Of course, they can barely just reach a few inches outside of the cage. They can't reach you at all. But they hiss. The gorilla growls, and they try to like get at you angrily. And she turns to you and she says, "This creature has been having trouble balancing and moving, walking around. It's not ambulatory, and I've been wondering if there's any more modifications I can make. Not many more that it can take before it's completely useless. Any ideas?" Back with
sure.
Triss, Aklis, and Dirt, you are walking very confident, Triss, that you are on the right way to find
I'm coming to get you, Hiss.
You're walking through a very dense jungle, so you start hearing what's ahead before you see it. A long time before you see it, there's something that's moving through the jungle. It's making the same noise that you're making, especially Dirt and Aklis, because big bodies walking through the bush.
Yeah.
So there's something there.
Walking through the bushes. I'm very sorry.
For what?
I can definitely
Keep it clean.
Sorry, Triss, you were saying something? Not at all. Okay. So it's moving towards you. Anyone doing something before it reaches you?
Well, I was saying, I can hear Grebble, and I'm shooting forward.
Cool. So you shoot through the bushes. You don't even need to move the fronds aside. You just move through the leaves, dissipate through them, and you find yourself face to face with a hippopotamus A small hippopotamus-like creature with stout limbs, a smooth body covered in shells of armor. In fact, its body is one tough piece of armor like a turtle, a tortoise, and its head is a little longer and full of sharp teeth, which means that its snout is more like a crocodile. It looks at you, and it opens its mouth and closes them a little bit, making clanking noises. Triss, what do you do?
Hi! I'm Triss.
Well,
Are you a Hipodillo?
it opens its mouth, it closes it again, it opens it again, and then it says, "Oh, I've never been given a name. Maybe I am a Hipodillo."
You're just so, like, wow.
Well,
You're so beautiful. You know, I have a friend named Triss, or rather Hiss, and all the multiple colors. I forgot my name for a second. Hiss is all these, like, beautiful jungle colors, and it's like, wow, it's like, I've never seen anything. You're just, and Triss starts, like, walking around, just oohing and awing. I mean, maybe you're not a Hipodillo. Maybe you're something else. But what's your name?
even though the creature is incapable of smiling physically, you can see just with its little the jaw just hangs slightly open, and you can feel through your senses the fact that it's very happy, specifically about being like shown interest in and having been given a name, which is something it never had up till now. And it lets you look at the creature all around. You see that it has it doesn't have long claws or any weapons. Its feet are obviously actually they're especially wide and flat. It's almost specifically modified to be walking on muddy ground without sinking too much into it. And while you're walking around it, it says, I'm here to find some creatures. One of them was supposed to be Smokey. Maybe it's you?
Oh, so I'm looking for my friend Grebble. Well, and Atlas and Dirt and Marigold and I guess Wilk's friend too. But we were looking for Grebble. So I guess it's because I've never seen a turtle before. I thought what Idamar was describing was an armadillo, hence Hipodillo, but I might have been mistaken. But I've just got to say that you're beautiful.
There's more plates of armor except for the one big one on the back, right? It is like bands and plates of armor that kind of, some of its body looks like an armadillo. At this point, Atlas and Dirt, you've caught up. You've walked through these thick bushes, and you can join the conversation.
Atlas, Dirt, look, I found a new friend. I think he's a Hipodillo. He's not sure.
What's a Hipodillo?
This.
Well, it's me, apparently.
Right. Well, hello, I'm Atlas Darkmoor.
Nice to meet you, Atlas Darkmoor. I am Hipodillo.
All right.
I'm Dirt.
Just getting used to this new name. Hello, Dirt. Nice to meet you.
I'm Dirt. Hello.
I
thought maybe you didn't hear me at first.
I'm here to give you a message. I was supposed to find a group consisting of a smoky creature, a large person in armor, and a rock creature, as well as a horse. Where is the horse?
Oh, well, horse isn't here right now. But can you tell the message and tell me more about you and where are you from and why do you look like that? And how long have you been running messages? Who are you running messages from? Are you from Piss?
I am giving you a message from Buyaba, the witch of this part of the jungle.
Oh.
Yes, she asked me to tell you that your friend, the young mage, is perfectly safe. He is, in fact, close by and will rejoin you shortly if you stay right where you are. If you seek out him and the witch, you will not find them.
But why? He's our friend. Like you're our friend. Couldn't you take us to Grebble?
I could, but I am not allowed to.
That's not very nice.
Who said that you're not allowed to?
The witch, Buyaba.
Which witch?
The witches in these witch jungles.
Oh, the swamp witch, the switch. Gotcha.
Yes.
But why? Why won't she let us find our friend? Because Grebble shouldn't be alone, and you look really nice. Like, I feel like we should help you get back.
She does not like to meet large groups of people, and by large is anything more than 1 or 2.
Well, I can be 2.
Oh, you want to come just yourself? Just to join me?
Or Atlas, do you want to go with Hipodillo or Dirt? But someone should go.
I can go.
I'm sorry. I think I'm not in a position to make these choices myself. She told me to tell you that if you come seeking your friend, you will not find them. I am sure that what will happen is that, as always does, she will have a chat with him, leave him behind, and move the hut to a new location, when, at that point, you can reunite.
Hipodillo, I'm worried about Grebble.
Why?
Well, he's so nice, you see, that she might want to keep him.
Oh, keep him. Oh, she doesn't do that to more than 1 out of 3 or 4 guests. Don't worry.
That sounds like pretty good odds to me.
Yes, quite good.
Yeah.
Most likely he will leave improved rather than harmed. Now it is my time
Improved.
to go and keep patrolling. Do not try to follow me. I will be quite stealthy, he says, and then he stomps through the bushes away, making a lot of noise.
Chris follows.
Okay, you can very easily follow, although, do you want to follow so that he doesn't notice you?
Yes.
All right. So all 3 of you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Who's gonna make the check? It's gonna be a disadvantage because it's all 3 of you. So one of you needs to make the check for everyone. It's a dexterity
What kind
check.
of check is it?
A dexterity check.
I have 14.
Yeah, you're the most dexterous out of this bunch. It's gonna be a disadvantage.
Does anyone in the chat want to give us a little bit of enough?
I think maybe Sit Still Behave wasn't here when I explained about the option to give you some extra.
Well, guys, think all the good thoughts. Sneak. I'm very sneaky.
Nice. Very, very good. That's a success. Sit Still Behave, I'll say really quickly, go down and look at the XP store panel. There's 2 commands there that you can use. You pay your XP points to do that.
Also, for the record, as they like go behind, as they follow Hipodillo, Tristan just like Hipodillo, just like very quietly like Hipodillo.
Okay, so cool. So apparently the role means that even though you're talking while you're sneaking, you're doing it quietly enough so that it actually counts as successfully sneaking.
And I look up at Atlas and I'm like, see, very sneaky.
Yes, you're very good at this.
When you talk, Atlas, Hipodillo stops for a second and sniffs the air around him, but then decides it probably just was nothing and keeps walking. Perfect. It's a gorilla snake hybrid in a cage, and the snakes are doing and the gorilla is going and they're trying to get out of the cage. They can't. They're obviously suffering. What do you do, Grebble?
We agreed in chat that a gorilla snake hybrid is a snake.
Snake.
Oh, that makes sense.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Okay, so Grebble's gonna look at this for a minute, and then he's gonna say, I'm a little confused. I thought you said that you were taking life energy out of something that died. So which one of these died? The snakes or the gorilla?
Oh, all of them.
Oh, they all died?
Yes.
What? Then how's it alive?
Yes. Well, that is part of what's special about this part of the world, part of the jungle specifically.
I completely misunderstood. I thought that you were getting, like, creatures were coming to you, looking for ways to improve themselves, and you were, like, giving them modifications so they could, be better versions of themselves. Extra leg, a tail, some wings if they wanted.
Oh, I definitely could do that, but these are animals. They don't know what they need. I have some good ideas, and I just do it for them.
Well, I mean, I feel like animals do know what they need. I mean, when I was growing up, we had a cat, and that cat, knew when it was hungry and such like. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure you do know better for them. The bit that's confusing me is that they were all dead, and yet they all seem to be alive now.
Yes. Well, I animated them.
Wait, but then they didn't get a choice in the matter.
Oh, no choice needed.
I mean, it's kind of trapped in a cage. It doesn't look very happy.
By all its rage.
Well,
Right. It's trapped in a
happy?
cage with all
What
of
do
its
you
rage.
mean by happy? It's an animal.
Animals can be happy.
Well, can they really? Is it really what they are?
I feel like we have different perspectives, and we're both very intelligent people. We might not be able to persuade each other. Perhaps we should agree to disagree on this.
Agree to disagree. That's where it starts. Soon enough, it's torches and pitchforks. I see where this is going. You're
What?
judging me, Grebble. You're judging me.
Hey, I'm approaching this from a position of ignorance.
There's a very loud clicking sound from somewhere.
It's not me.
Yeah, we've been mentioning it. Talia, is that you?
I think it's from Talia.
I'm not clicking on anything.
Huh.
I'm very much.
But I'm not clicking!
Oh, but it is coming from you.
It is? I'm
I'll
not
mute
sure.
it.
I don't see. Okay, let's see if that works. Cool. Yeah, so you were... Yeah.
I'm coming from a position of ignorance. I'd like to understand what's happening.
Not ignorance. On the contrary, you are my honored guest because I think you have a lot of input on what I'm doing here. Just try to clear your mind of any preconceptions you've had about what is proper or improper. I can see by the way that you're dressed, all the effort you put into the cleanliness and making sure that you don't bring any mud into this hut. She gestures at the floor, and you see a lot of dry flakes of mud and earth. Like she doesn't care about that.
Yeah.
And then she looks at you and she says, "That's all well and good where you come from, but here I deal with other kinds of projects. I don't care what other people think is seemly, which is part of the reason I'm here, out here, in the cold, damp, swampy jungle."
Well, so at this point, Grebble is a bit freaked out by the thing in front of him, and he does not want to offend the host. So he's saying, it's true that progress is often change is often poorly viewed at first.
Okay, I accept that. I still not very interested in how what I do is viewed by other people.
I see. So you wanted help, ways of modifying it, and it's struggling to move. Well, okay. Well, snakes they kind of slide along the floor, don't they? And a gorilla swings from trees. Can it slide up the side of a tree?
Oh. Slide up a tree. You know what? I think that might just work. That might require a minimum of extra modifications before it will work. I have very few of these creatures right now. I've just started releasing them into the jungle today. I've been working on them for quite a while. Only today, the conditions are right for them to actually survive and even thrive. This is when my project begins. And I'd like to thank you for giving me this ideas. I will try to make this happen. It'll take a few more hours. Would you like to stay here and see the results of your idea?
Oh, it's a very kind offer, but I too understand moments of great creativity and production, and I really should get back to my friends.
Okay, yes. You're on your way to your quest, the place you need to be, I understand.
That's right.
You also have your own projects and things and goals, so how about you just go on your way? She stomps a little with her left foot on the ground. She doesn't say anything this time. The hut shakes and swings a little bit back to its original position. You can see the place that you came in through. And she says, I will take you all the way back to where we met.
Oh, well, that's very kind, but quite fun riding in this thing.
Yes. You will now get to experience it. It can be a little bit uncomfortable physically sometimes, but also thrilling.
I think I probably won't mind, because I'm quite bouncy myself.
Oh, yes, you are, yes. You mind if I spend the next several minutes testing the flexibility of other parts of you?
I mean, let's keep it clean. It's true, I haven't actually tested the limits of myself. Perhaps, if we agree on, like, a point at which I say stop and you let go, give that a try.
All right. Okay, so she's just really interested in seeing how bendy you are, really. It's not if she has an ulterior motive, it's not here and now. It's just something she tries to learn from testing your bendy bones. And you do discover a little bit more about how bendy you are. Also how tough you are. She pokes you with some tools which seem to be less painful than you would expect them to be when she touches you.
So if it's something that bumps into me, it doesn't really hurt.
Right, if it's something exactly like little hammers or something like that, she tests your joints and you are very, very flexible. You also discover that you probably should have part of the things that you'll get advantage for, mechanically speaking, from your new trait, the bendy bones one, is that you can squeeze through probably tighter openings than you would otherwise be before you got this modification.
Oh, that's cool. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah, that's something she realizes, and she helps you realize when she manages to, bend your arms together and your shoulders into, like, a little bundle and just put a hoop around you and then take it out. Like, she just, measures the circumference that different parts of your body can be squeezed into.
Squeezy skin.
Bendy bones is what it's called, isn't it?
Yeah, bendy bones.
But
I think
add in squeezy skin variant.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna write it down here because I didn't write it yet. It should be written down in my
cool. Thank you.
In your traits on the screen. Cool. So she's enjoying it a little bit too much maybe, but she's not doing anything that's improper or you wouldn't consider to be part of a proper scientific experiment to see how bendy your bones are. And yeah, you walk on the hut, which means that it rises up to almost the treetop level and it lurches on the ground. Sometimes there's a little bit of a sudden shift to the side. You need to keep your balance, but mostly it's a pretty smooth ride. And it's kind of fun, like, like riding an unstable train or a car that is very high up above the ground, and you're not very acrophobic at all. You're very good with heights, so it's fun. Yeah. You're sneaking behind. What was his name? You need to write down the
Hipodillo?
names. You invented 2 names in this.
Hipodillo? No?
Hipodillo, and there was a Snape. A Snape! This is the 2 creatures that you found, that you discovered in this episode. Yeah, you're sneaking behind Hipodillo successfully. He's not noticing you're there at all. Probably part of the reason is that he's making a whole lot of noise. He makes it very, very easy to follow because he's trampling the undergrowth in a way that almost creates a path for you to go through, and makes it possible to find him. Even if he disappears into a bush, you'll still hear him and be able to follow him from a few meters away. Yeah, at some point, you come to the same area where Grebble fell from the trees earlier. A little puddle that's, again, a little clearer of trees and growth in this area. And just as you are nearing this area, and Hipodillo is just getting to the puddle and standing in the middle of the puddle, looking around, wondering what is the next stop, the hut gets there. A hut, a little wooden, picturesque little wooden hut on 4 grabbit feet, or grabbit legs, that's walking towards the clearing. And when you look up, you see in the opening, in the door of the hut, the image of Grebble, and next to him, the witch that you've come here to meet. Let's see if anyone has a reaction. Grebble, you don't see them yet, so Triss, Aklis, and Dirt, anyone reacts?
I shoot the witch.
Shoot the witch?
I'm kidding, I don't shoot the witch.
Alright. Triss, you're muted.
I was just gonna say, burn the witch.
Shoot Grebble.
So, no immediate reaction?
I guess.
Triss is waving.
Waving. In order to reveal yourself? You stop sneaking?
Oh, at Grebble. I was assuming Grebble could see me. No. If then, I'm still just... Do we see the cage, though?
No, the cage is a few minutes away. The hut moved since then, so it's not where...
Yeah, still sneaking, I think.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What's that cat?
Yeah, that's my cat.
I know. Mine did it last week, I think, if I remember correctly, for quite a while. So I understand.
I'll get a cat next week.
Cool.
Please do. Or a person to meow or whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so you can have a little time to think about it, because this is going to be the ending of this week's episode if nobody has an immediate reaction. A little standoff. Grebble has not noticed you yet. You have seen... you're seeing both Hipodillo and the hut and the witch and Grebble up in it. It's a few meters off the ground because the legs are standing now. And we will continue this next week. You haven't completed the goal yet at all, I think. There's more than one way to...
Skin a witch.
Exactly. But I want to put it in the goals, and I think that I want to edit the goal list in general and see what exactly you want to achieve. Find the tree, you've found it, and you met the Tisism family.
Wait, how many goals are we at right now? I think I only have 1. Are we at 2?
You're at 1 out of 5 necessary
That's
to
right.
level.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have 2 goals. We have the new finding a home for the preserved life seed, but also finding, which is currently kind of what we're doing, and finding a home for the life seed, which I learned where it needs to go last time.
So finding a home to both of them.
But
We should find a home for the Snape.
you said they're going to be in different places. The life seed wants to be somewhere where it's quite, where it towers and is grand, and the preserved life
that's true.
want somewhere flat and special, somewhere it can have a nice retirement as it grows old.
Yes, exactly. So that's 2 more goals. Now the witch is, I'm gonna call it take care of the witch. It sounds,
That makes us sound like a mob.
yeah, it kind of sounds ominous. Do you have a different
Or
wording for that?
We give her a massage.
Exactly. Because it doesn't have to be attack her or kill her, but I mean, his sisteress did ask you to help with some things that she's doing that are bad for him and his kin. So that needs to still be taken care of. What other goals do you want to add from either recent sessions or anything else? I mean, a lot of things happen that might give you new goals in this game. So is anything you can think about now that has to do with your personal backstory?
Oh, for sure. But there's definitely some Grebble backstory personal goals.
Mm-hmm.
Well, didn't we have that Grebble has to have a drink with, what's his name?
With Kyleden.
But wouldn't Grebble's goal be to not have that drink?
Exactly. Get out of it. It's...
Well, Grebble's personal goal, as I have written here, is tell Kyleden that I've matured and I don't want to be friends anymore.
Yeah. That's a very respectable personal goal, but it's not going to be a group
Another
goal.
personal goal of Grebble is he wants to find a math magician.
Cool. Well, that's good, but it's probably not going to be a group goal unless it somehow turns out to be a great big challenge that you all need to cooperate to achieve. But right now, you can just find a mathematician next time you're in EMAG, so it's not going to be a problem. I mean, think about stuff that you've discovered, you've heard about, you find out, or just randomly happened in the next in the last couple of quests. Because some stuff was brought up that might make you wanna go certain places or meet certain people. If you don't want to make it a goal, I'm not going to put it on the list. I'm only hinting. It's your choice. So.
I mean, I think one goal for Triss is to understand what happened to the other summonings, because that is something that just is Throng sort of. I mean, you can't say mentioned, but hinted that what Triss thought, like why the summonings were actually out and not back with the endemic. That clearly something had happened and Triss doesn't know. So I'd say, as a personal goal, that's probably one. Although, to be honest, it's not front of mind right now.
It's definitely goal worthy. So I'm going to write down, investigate what happened in the how do we call it? The fortress, citadel, endemic flying fortress. Right?
It's
Is that
the
a
land of the endemic, so it's their island nation.
Oh, it's more than just a fortress then.
I mean, it is the land of the endemic, so it's the fortress, but there's a village, there's land.
Okay, cool. So in the endemic island, let's say. After
I don't know if this is a serious goal, but we also want to fix the eyes pad.
Yes, that's true. That is important. And
This
which is
could
also
be-
supposed to give us some information.
This could be a worthy goal, yes. Fix the eyes pad, sure. Cool, so these are a lot of goals. Some of them might happen, not all of them have to, none of them have to. Like each one is going to be counted, 4 more, and you level up. Cool, nice. So thank you very much. We didn't have, because we didn't have the new alerts come up today, but hopefully we'll get to hear them.
I mean, I could probably set off the chaos one now.
Do the chaos one. Wait, before you do that, let's see. Let's take this away. Activate the chaos one now. Yes.
It's always better.
What is
I
better?
love it.
It's
What
so
is-
gross.
Which one is better?
The chaos noise is so disgusting. It's great.
Oh, I see.
It's very creepy.
So I need to, like, notes make the chaos sound even grosser, I guess. And that's the symbol of chaos. What you saw is the symbol of chaos. So these, now you know what the symbol of order and the symbol of chaos in Yalpelor are. I will also send them to you so you can see them yourselves. And remember them and do whatever you want with them. Cool, nice. So thank you very much, dear players. Thank you for our viewers. Thank you anyone who's been watching us live or recorded in the future. Thank you anyone who's, I mentioned in the attributions in the beginning, if you like any of what you saw, go down and click on all the links and go to all the websites and commission all the stuff and download all the things that you can, because these are awesome resources and awesome people out there. And this show just looks that much better thanks to their existence. So that's awesome. That's it. I think I've thanked everybody in the whole wide world up till now. So yeah, good night. We'll be here Saturday night. I'll be streaming solo. Monday night next week, as always, Questers of Yalpelor. And until then, stay safe, play hard, and good night.
Keep it clean.
Soapy clean.